All right. Hello again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tears of the Realms. Yes, this is our weird, messed up, cipher system powered RPG set in our own weird, messed up version of the Breath of the Wild slash Tears of the Kingdom flavor of Hyrule. And the people below me, we're all discussing musicals and how awesome they are just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, all of us were totally.
Important stuff,
All of us were. Every single one of us. We are all
especially Elias.
musical. Yes, most definitely. He was singing. Like, you guys don't realize that this is a character that he plays. He actually has a beautiful voice. He was singing Tevia's part from Fiddler on the Roof.
Fiddler.
I absolutely know who that character is. Yes.
If we all were rich men. Yeah, da, 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 da.
One of the things that annoyed me more than anything else was when Christina Aguilera,
It was Gwen Stefani.
thank you, Gwen Stefani, one of those people did "If I Were a Rich Girl," and they turned one of the few low voice songs that aren't a villain song and turned it into this pop punk, alto soprano piece. I'm like, no, that's our song. You're not allowed to take that. We don't have many.
Can't believe Jody's gatekeeping songs.
That's how I learned
Gatekeeping low
about
voices.
what sampling was, because I remember hearing that and going, wait, that's copywritten. How, what? No, that's a song already. And like,
But the
then
fun
that's when
part
I got
about
to learn
that,
about what sampling was. And I was like, oh,
the fun part about that is that sometimes it leads people to the original and thus more support of the original versions of
indeed.
things. So it's like catch 22.
I had the same response when Jim Carrey did "You're a Mean One." So I'm like, no, it's a bass song. You did wonderfully, Jim Carrey. You're a wonderful person, but it's a bass song. Just give us this. We only get Christmas that we're allowed to come out of our caves.
Just give
And
Thurl
transpose songs
Ravenscroft
too.
his
Transpose them down.
I intentionally sing songs.
Give the altos some love. Sorry.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
we
but
get
altos,
two
you get
notes.
belting stuff. If
We
you can
get
belt, I
two
guess.
notes in every choral piece to repeat over
Over
and
and
over and
over and
over, and
over.
that is considered harmony.
Sorry, baritone here. We get the notes that nobody hears. Like, at least you guys get notes that people hear.
But if they're missing, you definitely know something is wrong, but you can't figure out why.
We're singing a bunch of fifths and like augmented or like diminished sevenths. Nobody knows what
I
we're
was a
doing.
diminished seventh once.
Anyway, so announcer
Weren't we all
moments.
diminished ones?
Yes.
Well, we just
were
got
all
out of the
diminished.
diminished place. So
Right. Now we're going back in to be diminished.
Then why is Fubari here?
Segue.
segue. Announcer moments. Do we have anything big happening with this Zelda universe?
As far as I know, we have
No, that's Kiri.
published many uh, random things about Echoes of Wisdom that may help you complete the game. Feel free to check social media and our website. That's all I got.
I
Linktober
honestly
is
thought
still...
you were referring to I know.
No,
Sorry.
I say the words I know, and it sounds exactly the same as Kiri's character, which
So
she
interesting.
uses quite a bit
Oh.
to make jokes, and Jody as well, and also everyone else but me.
So yeah, Linktober is still going on. Again, if you're unaware, Linktober is basically an art kind of challenge that happens in October. Every day there is a prompt and people make cool art for it. So yeah, check that out. I've been seeing some pretty cool stuff recently because a couple of the people that I follow have been doing Linktober prompts. So
And today's prompt is reward.
Ooh.
I'm still stuck on Tunic, so.
So that, as far as the TTRPG world is concerned, we are almost upon the early access for the new DMG for 5th edition. There is currently a backer kit going for the Welcome to Night Vale tabletop RPG, which is very, very cool. And there's like a billion other TTRPGs that are doing backer kits and Kickstarters right now. I just got a notice from Monty Cook that they are doing yet another Cypher System Kickstarter backer kit thing.
Oh, Monty.
Don't get me wrong, love Monty Cook, but they have kickstarted like 3 or 4 different books this year, and I just don't have the money for that many things.
Fair.
But we love you, Monty Cook. Sponsor our show. We're using the Cypher System. So, yeah. Otherwise, any other announcer? Oh yeah, there's a Discworld TTRPG.
Yeah, there is.
Not only is there a Discworld TTRPG Kickstarter going on, they smashed their goal, which no one could have predicted.
I definitely
that
could
is-
not have predicted that because I didn't know what it was until this very moment.
Well, is a very they're over 1 million. Doesn't they may beat out, oh, who was it? If I had to take a guess, it was probably Critical Role that probably had the largest Kickstarter in the TTRPG realm. Though I think Colville might have beaten them when he did his. So it would not surprise me if Discworld takes the new #1 spot. Because it's Terry Pratchett, right? The author of
Terry
Discworld? Yeah. Pratchett fans are rabid.
What is Discworld? Is that a book?
It's a book
It
series.
is a book
Oh, okay.
series. So imagine like fantasy world with. Are you familiar with PG Woodhouse? He
PG
did like
Woodhouse?
Jeeves and Wooster.
And what?
He did like Jeeves and Wooster.
I have not heard of those things.
Okay, so
I do not
very
read too
dry
many
British
books.
humor, very satirical at points.
Oh, like
Um,
what's it called? The end of the world something. Hitchhiker's Guide
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yeah, fantasy
Yes,
hitchhikers.
they were both very inspired by PG Woodhouse.
Okay.
So very like tongue in cheek, but it's fantasy, and he's created this entire world. You've got Death, who's amazing and lovely. You've got the Night Watch, which I fucking love. It's good shit. I recommend starting with Guards of Guards. It's a very lovely entry point that gives you a good idea of Ankh-Morpork, which is the main city that he tends to go back to a lot of times, as well as like a little bit of the peripheral stuff. I don't start with Color of Magic.
It's something like 11 or 13 books that he published in the Discworld series, right? Like it's a decently long series.
I think it's no, it's like 41.
Oh, it's a lot longer than I was thinking. I was about to say, he's no Raymond D. Feist.
I am posting something from the Kickstarter website, which for this Kickstarter. Hold on. It'll give you.
You muted yourself.
You
halfway
somehow
through that,
muted
Chase.
yourself mid-sentence. That was very impressive.
Like the humor of it.
What about Lancer and Uberwald? I hear you cry. We could have charged you $900 things, pounds maybe. Taken 6 years to deliver this Kickstarter. Would you have liked that? We're not selling you port futures here or books in Potentia. Do you think it's just a weird way to
Sorry, it
spell
was-
Portland?
Really.
I just have an inkling that Elias would be extremely into very, very dry British humor.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So Taskmaster, That is like if you ever need to explain British humor to anyone, show them Taskmaster and then tell them the person that created the show, the actual creator, the writer, and everything, is little Alex Horn, not Greg Davies.
Mm-hmm.
And that is British humor in a nutshell.
Fun fact, my friend Ryan is running an LA version of Taskmaster, which has been a lot of fun. And I'm recording that later today, and that's why I have a hard out.
That's amazing. I badly want to be on Taskmaster.
They're delightful. He's done no one can recreate it perfectly, but what he's done for our area, it's lovely. You can find it on YouTube. You should definitely check it out. It's real
The
funny.
Uest of tubes.
What's Taskmaster?
Yeah,
This entire
LA
conversation makes me feel like I live under a rock.
You said
We're
a lot
talking
of
about we're talking about aggressively British things, to be
yeah.
fair.
I mean,
Oh.
If you didn't grow up in an Anglophile house,
I have watched Doctor Who before.
Okay.
have you ever
That's
watched
a start.
Countdown?
oh,
Countdown.
Countdown. This is what Countdown is. Countdown is a game show where they put a bunch of letters up on a board and you have to come up with the
anagram one.
longest word. And then after you're done with that, they will put a bunch of random numbers on the board and will give you a random target number. And you have to find a way to add, subtract, and multiply and divide to be able to get as close to that number as you can. And that's the entire show. And it's been going on for like 50 years.
And then there's Countdown
Right.
meets 8 out of 10 cats.
Yes, 8 out of 10 cats
Yes.
does Countdown is by far the greatest version of Countdown. It gets a bunch of
What?
comedians who can't do anagrams and suck at math and then make them play this show.
I think I've seen the basic form of that in old YouTube clips before.
That is... Countdown and Taskmaster are like peak British television to me.
Oh. I have also seen parts of the Graham Norton show.
That's fair.
He's good.
He's better than most American late night talk show hosts.
He's
And they
perfectly...
just look like they actually are having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, they have booze, so it helps.
True.
But I actually enjoy the group interview format that a lot of British talk shows do versus the one-on-one interviews that are done on most American talk shows, which were fine when you had people like Johnny Carson running the interviews, and it was amazing. And Jay Leno and Dave Letterman to a point.
Well, they were just ripping off of Johnny Carson. Like it's
Well,
just
yeah.
trickled down.
But now, like, Fallon is really not that great an interviewer. Corden, I'm very, very happy they're sending him back to England, who apparently doesn't want him, but... Anyway, so...
Make it sound like he's getting deported or something.
If we could, we would.
We or you?
No, most of the U.S. has kind of turned on James Corden after they found out that he was an absolute jerk to waitstaff, like over and over and over again, to the point where he got banned from a
To
restaurant.
everyone, if you were in a service position.
Oh yeah, he's just
There's a beautiful, awkward moment that I think you could still find on YouTube, where I think it was Jimmy Kimmel was guesting on a show and was like, literally called him out, was like, name one of your staff members, and he couldn't do it. Like, could not give a name of anyone on his crew.
That's
And I'm
fine.
like, oh god.
yeah. He was apparently kind of a nightmare to work with over here. In the UK, he apparently was not quite as bad.
Because he didn't get to
Well,
do
in the
his pitches even.
UK, you don't get the same, like, celebrity treatment is very different. Like, actors over there, a lot of times, like, you can just go to a theater and, like, yeah, I mean, not anymore because she's passed, but you could just see Maggie Smith in the West End and it would be a thing. And you could meet, like, I met Patrick Stewart at outside a theater door once after a production of Hamlet. So it's like it's much more grounded. Like you get more of
Damn.
that with like royalty, whereas over here, our royalty are our celebrities. So it's like this weird fame is different over in the US. It's
So you're saying we need a royal
weird.
family?
No, I'm
We
saying we
do.
need
They're
to
called the
work on our
Kardashians.
parasocial relationships.
To be fair, it is also kind of a lot harder to meet celebrities here, minus that certain LA spots, then you never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah.
Just because, like, size wise, like, there are only so many places that you can go.
Yeah, the
Smaller
size
country.
of the US is also so much larger.
Yeah. Just a smidgen. It
Here's this
blew
thing.
one of my friends' minds who's in the UK that they can travel 35 minutes and be in another country, and I can travel 35 minutes and be in the same city.
It's real funny when you get to talk to someone who's never been here about like, oh no,
Yes.
we
Yes.
saw because we're into Morris. We have a Discworld Morris dancing troupe because that's how nerdy we are. Yeah, you should come up and dance with us sometime, or when we go down there, it'll be great. We love bringing new people in and teaching, and it's a lot of fun. It's actually pretty simple. But we watched this movie called Morris: A Life with Bells On, and at one point they come over to California for the Orange County Morris troupe that inexplicably practices in Santa Monica. And I'm like, nope, not Orange County. But all of the gentlemen are very like WeHo coded. And then at one point, I think they go, is it Sumner or something? It was a place that was like an hour and 40 minutes north of Los Angeles proper, but they treated it like it was just down the street. And I'm like, oh, my babes, you do not understand.
I heard because I got family that lives in Florida now. One of which that works with Universal and that, and I've heard stories about tourists from like the UK and Europe and of coming down and going to like Disney World or something. And go, well, um, we want to stop by and see Hollywood before we go. And like, gee, it's not possible. Like, well, how far is it? Like an hour, 2 hours? Try multiple days if you don't stop. What? That's not possible. Yeah, the U.S. can span most of Europe widthwise. Like we're longer than your continent, depending on where you're
From
measuring.
Austin to LA is 23 hours if you drive nonstop. I found this out because my friend cannot drive himself. Um, and I was moving him back. Most of that time was spent in Texas.
Yes.
When I moved from Texas to LA, it
We
was
were
a
just
2 day
in
trip,
Texas. Huh.
and the first day was Texas.
So much. And it's so
I-
much of nothing. It's just
Yep.
flat and farmland.
And then by the time
And
you get
oil.
out
Nothing
of
in West
Texas,
Texas.
by the time you get out of Texas, you think you're still in Texas because you have to go through New Mexico.
It's so true. But
Yeah,
this,
Also,
you know what?
this
I've
is the
never seen
perfect
a
time to wear that
prettier-
shirt, Elias.
I've never seen a prettier night sky because there was no there was no light pollution in West Texas.
Yep.
I was like, the space is directly above us. This is crazy.
Yep. But then just hope you don't get hurt or bitten by a rattlesnake while you're out there. You know.
That's
Oh yeah,
Tarantula
no,
or
I was not.
Scorpion.
I did not feel safe to get out of the car because I'm also like, I don't know what's a sundown town, and what's not.
Check your shoes for scorpions and your lollipops, because that's a thing. I don't know if they do it in Texas, but in Arizona, every tourist trap you could get scorpions
Oh, yeah.
and lollipops.
Oh yeah, that's
but that's intentional.
everywhere. Yeah, that's everywhere.
Not like an
Yeah,
accidental.
Florida.
Oh,
Yeah.
How did this scorpion get in my lollipop?
1 in 100
It's a
chance a scorpion
sear-
will be on your lollipop.
A
This is
seared
like the
clear
worst version
package
of-
and
it's like the worst version of you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. You got your scorpion in
they've
my
both been corrupted.
love.
Oh.
So anyway, um,
Yeah, sorry. Did you want to
We've
start on
been
time?
We've been in extreme rabbit trail mode today.
This is normal.
We've been kind of on our better behavior when we've had you here, Dottie, where we've been kind of close to starting at reasonable times.
We have.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I reaffirm we should just have a podcast where we just shoot the shit with coffee or tea or whatnot. Just
We do for an hour every time we get.
well, we never put that part on.
That's true.
Oh, this part's in. Half of it's in.
Oh.
Yeah, this part's in.
So
We
yeah.
should probably. That's what this is gonna become eventually.
Should I just make our mics hot during the starting soon screen? Is that what I should
Yes.
do?
I mean,
Yes,
then-
you really should. And then give us time to prep our faces. That'll be the countdown. Just the face
I like that.
Anyway, today, since we didn't get a chance last time because Dottie unfortunately couldn't join us, we're going to be doing a slight little rewind so we can give Fubari a proper send-off. And then after we're done with that, we're going to go back to kind of talking, and I have some questions for Dottie about, you know, her experience with this and stuff like that. So we'll do a little kind of Q&A session afterwards. So in order for us to get to that, though, I think it's time for us to return to Tears of the Realms. The Tear Walkers are practicing science. Having returned to the world of the Minish in order to experiment upon the core crystal to hopefully find a way to be able to leave Tears without having to physically be in contact with the crystal, the Tear Walkers started performing experiments and attempting to extract pieces of the crystal. While they were unable to extract a piece of the crystal, they were able to discover that, at least in this realm, they were able to will themselves back out of the realm, back to the departation platform, simply through focusing their minds on the destination. So having come to somewhat of a solution to their problem, they now have to decide how to say goodbye to their new friend. So, last week, you guys were able to do a little bit more experimentation. You guys were able to figure out that if you touch the crystal, you can leave the tier instantly. If you're not touching it, you can concentrate, and it takes about 10 minutes for you to be able to leave. But it seems that, at least in this realm, you are not limited to having to physically touch the crystal, and touching the crystal doesn't instantly transport you out. So yeah, you guys also discovered that there is some sort of energy contained within the crystal that somehow Fubari specifically was able to channel and turned into a puffball while she was doing that. But with the technology available to you in this particular tier, you weren't able to find a way to store that energy or really use it in any productive way thus far. So, let's rewind, because last week you guys did leave. You guys did some homework stuff back in Hyrule, and then you found out that Etsu Korimala had attacked Hateno, and you went over there to try and figure out what was going on. We're going to rewind us back a little bit to the very end of the time that you were in the Minish realm. So this is definitely the wrong music for this. Clicked on it thinking it was a very different thing.
Ominous.
Ominous.
Goodbye.
Fubaru feels that she's been the villain all along.
I knew it. She was too adorable.
Yeah.
Last campaign, the first guest we had turned into the villain at the end, so
Running theme.
Yeah, but we defeated him with the power of friendship.
I thought it was therapy.
That too.
Both.
that and
It
asking
was
what he was
magic
wearing.
therapy and the power of friendship.
Okay.
I'm still really proud of that. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
just want you to be able to see your actions with total clarity. Thanks, Goddess of Wisdom.
Still like the idea that right before that, Aurel kind of traumatized him, and then we healed him with more therapy.
Love it. Out
So
of curiosity, what is Brayak wearing?
yes, but what are you wearing?
What do you wear? Girl, what is
Who are
it?
you wearing?
Ooh,
I guess
Really my
in
next-
order to do further experimentation, we'll have to try it from another tier. Sounds like something I would have said yet last week.
yeah.
So you all are able to kind of realize that you at least have figured out that other than using the thorns that Zariah was able to grow, it seemed that all the other tools that you used to try and pierce the crystals seemed to just kind of skate off it.
Except for when we tried to stab it and it started screaming.
Yes.
Guys trying to stab it?
Multiple times, actually.
Well, we
Wait,
didn't
when
like
you
Pieces
say
off
it
of it.
started screaming.
we
like it
didn't
has
we
a
didn't
voice?
like try full for like we didn't try to like actually stab into it, but as we applied more and more pressure slowly, it was like, hey, I don't like that.
Yes, it verbalized, "Hey, that's not cool." And then Fubari heard it and was like, "Oh, I should go explore." And then
Wait, it actually spoke?
no,
No,
Oh.
the
no,
way
just
I
let out a
described
very
it
loud ringing noise.
was
I'm like, guys, it's
the
alive!
sound of like playing glasses.
But more loud and painful the more we tried to harvest the crystal.
And only
Yeah.
in our own heads.
Yeah.
Love
Yes,
that for us.
psychically. Yeah.
We've been
But
psychic
Fubar-
damage!
Yeah, but Fubari did hear it, so
Yeah.
Yes.
So what you guys are able to find out is when certain things like the thorns that Zariah could grow interacted with it, the crystal itself would kind of sing and make this very kind of high-pitched sound, very akin to the sound of like crystal glasses being played, that very kind of almost haunting.
Okay, so when you say sing, it was better than the screaming?
no,
well,
that was the sound, not it was
that was the
actually
sound.
screaming.
The more
Okay, sorry.
Violent.
I thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
the more intense the pressure that's put on the crystal, the louder and more painful the sound became.
Gotcha.
But it was only heard by the tier walkers and Fubari. There were guards there, and they never heard a thing. So
Okay.
now that we have caught you up,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
that's what I'm here for. What would y'all like to do?
Try to get my
Fubari.
hair to stop from sticking up.
Basically, every time Fubari would touch it, it'd be like she put her hand on one of those static electricity things, so all of her fur would just stand on end, and she would get very fuzzy.
Zariah's gonna try to assist and like hopefully find a brush from somewhere and like
It's one in my
There's
pocket
probably
somewhere.
one in her pocket, yeah.
like a dryer sheet to sort of rub on it. Or...
Oh, thank you very much.
Did I attempt to learn about it aggressively by chance? Or through all this experimentation, am I able to implement aggressive learning?
If you'd like to, sure. Go ahead and make. Let's call it a difficulty 4 power check.
Why do I
Okay.
always forget I need physical dice?
Can I assist with all of my failed experimentations?
Hey, we learned a lot.
We did. They all failed, but we learned a ton.
Not
Joey, I had, like,
necessarily, because we
3 sessions of everything I tried failing. It was great.
Oh my gosh.
we failed
Yeah.
with
So much knowledge, it
our
was
initial
wonderful.
objective, but we did discover how to travel to and from. So
Yes, but we could have
That's
done that
cool.
without the experimenting, just by touching it. So
I mean that, but touching it was experimenting.
They exploded one of Mato's shields.
yes,
Oh,
the
no.
flying.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, he was
The
impaled by his
battery
own shield. He
couldn't
had to go
contain-
back for
Oh,
medical
yeah.
treatment.
Yeah.
We exploded ourselves at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone except Dilly got exploded.
Alright. Do I get an asset with her assistance?
Sure. I'll give you 2 assets.
Oh, you're gonna give me 2? Okay, that makes it difficulty 2. Right?
Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
Bring
lot
it
of.
down to
I remember
difficulty 2, yeah.
things.
Everybody loves 2 handfuls of
No.
assets.
Eh?
I'm also going to bring it down
Love you,
again
Dottie.
with my. Oh, have we rested? Have our pools replenished since I've been here?
Yeah, you guys got
You
to rest
c-
before you came back. So
Okay.
you're at full.
I'm gonna take that up and then take it back down. So then that makes that a difficulty 1, I believe. Which it didn't need because I just rolled a 17.
All right. So
Fails.
as these guys have been experimenting, I know you have been kind of sitting back and kind of observing the experimentation. You've been taking copious amounts of notes. Every so often, Aki will come over and you'll play with him a little bit because he gets kind of
That means
restless.
I will have fun discussion about the tier and be like, oh, well, tell me what do you think of the tier? Oh, that is very astute. Oh, you're very observant. I also noticed that.
And so as you're watching it, especially with a 17, one of the things that you guys did discover is if you take a teardrop and you place it against the tier, it will actually start getting absorbed into the tier. And pulling it away will require a little bit of effort. And it'll also, like one of the things that they tried was kind of a ball and they pushed it in, and when they pulled it back, that side of it was now flattened. And the level of the tier went down by 1, or teardrop went down by 1.
Did the tier itself seem like it had improved after absorbing that?
They didn't really examine that, but with your 17,
We did try to notice if there was any changes.
my understanding is you guys focused on the teardrops themselves.
We
Okay.
focused
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
on a
She got a
lot.
17, so let's
Okay.
learn more.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Let's learn more.
so the tier itself, like the actual crystal in there, didn't seem to change at all, which you found really strange because
I do
you
find
know,
that strange.
the basic idea of kind of conservation of energy and conservation of matter, energy was taken out of the teardrops, obviously.
But it doesn't seem like it went into the tier.
Yeah, the crystal itself didn't seem to change at all. And so while they were busy dealing with like
Oh.
the rather gaping wound that Mato got, and then exploding Levin jars and other things like that, you start kind of going, because the crystal itself is really big, like easily like 15, 20 feet high and almost as large around. And so while they're over there, you and Aki are just kind of slowly making your way around the crystal, and you get closer, you get further away. You take out, I would assume Ino probably has something like a jeweler's, what is that called, a jeweler's wheel? The little thing?
Loop. Jeweler's
There we
loop.
go. You probably would have some type of magnifying device that you keep with you to read small text and things like that. So you use that a little bit on it, and you eventually come to the conclusion that the reason that the crystal itself didn't seem to change at all is because the crystal itself you don't think is actually a crystal. You think it's simply a barrier to whatever is contained in the middle. It is whatever is contained in the middle of this thing. When it reacts with the environment of the tier, it creates this hardened shell. And that's what they had been interacting with this entire time, is basically this shell. But if you were to kind of pierce it or whatever, whatever is inside would possibly have been exposed to the outside. But without being able to do more than that, the most you can figure out is effectively you think it's hollow.
Well, I guess in order to do further experimentation, we'll have to go to another tier.
Maybe.
Oh, I know. Hey, what's up?
I know is deep in thought.
Sorry, I thought I know was saying something for the first time in a few hours. I guess not.
Can I go up and knock on it? See if it's out? Like, if I think it's hollow.
A door opens.
Oh,
You see-
hello.
You see this little dude sitting there. He's got like a cigar. And he's like, "What do you want?"
I told you to get off my lawn.
I did
I
in a
just
little
thought,
panel.
they were doing all this hitting, and I just figured I'd knock.
So yeah, if you knock on it, it feels it to you. It doesn't feel hollow, like it feels solid when you knock on it. But everything you've seen and all the data that everyone else has been able to gather, that you've been kind of think that you don't think it's possible for it to be a solid crystal because it just doesn't react the way it's supposed to. You're relatively certain.
Do I think there could be something inside, like cream filling?
Possibly. You're not sure if it's cream or nougat, but one of those, maybe like a ganache, like a chocolate lava cake. Are you not a fan of ganache chicks?
Have we tried licking the crystal?
We had bad experiences with licking things in the past, so I don't know if that would be our first inclination.
I mean, speak for yourself, Soraya, but
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
So, Fubari, would you like a little bit of a sparkly flavor on your tongue?
the way we say goodbye to Fabari is she gets killed by licking the crystal.
Well, Dottie, thanks for guesting. We myrtleized your character, so that was cool.
That or
Myrtleized?
she's slowly, yes, she's slowly being affected by the crystal. Now we've got it like internally going through her body and her all of her tracking.
Yeah,
So
you guys come
she
back in
becomes
like
a tear walker by licking a crystal.
That's
you guys
how
come
it
back in a
happens.
few
Does,
months, and
yeah.
Fubari has turned into her crystal form.
I'm
She's
here
a
for it.
Strangely
like-
enough, still functioning pockets though.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
she has a full like Sailor Moon henshin transformation.
I'm liking all of these ideas.
Minish crystal power. So,
I'd watch it.
going back to Aino, was there anything else that you wanted to do? Or did you want to share the information that you found with the other peoples? Yes, no.
So sorry.
99, 100.
What?
Snow, maybe so. 99, 100. Little kid thing, sorry.
No, you're fine. I have a feeling I spaced out and a question was asked of me.
Oh, I
I'm
asked.
so sorry.
That's perfectly fine.
I'm having some presence issues.
It happens. So I just asked, with this information, is there anything else that you want to do? I know, or
A hug because it feels hollow inside. Um,
Oh.
so the rest of you guys are doing something. You guys just fine. I know, just like hugging the crystal, going, there, Crystal. You
yeah,
are not
you know
alone.
what? I'm actually gonna hug it, and he's gonna come up on my shoulder and just be like, "Are we hugging? Okay, we're hugging it. Okay, I'm gonna rest my head against it." And just going to say something like, "We're going to figure this out, and we're going to help you. Yes,
Get through this together.
don't worry. You will be whole again."
So
Yeah, just having a sentimental moment with a crystal.
the rest of you guys would eventually kind of come across, I know, hugging and comforting this crystal.
I know. Are you good?
I am better than you will ever be or have ever been. No,
Okay.
suddenly I'm Twitch. No, sorry. A little manic today. Um, no, I'm good. I don't think crystal is actually crystal. I don't know what crystal is, but not crystal. Also, pretty sure it is hollow inside.
Think. Yeah.
Possibly alive. Not entirely
What?
sure.
What makes you
But
think
you're
it's-
right. We should go talk to more crystals because that will help.
So, wait. When we were in Etsukoi Mola, and the crystal there had all of the wires attached to it. I know. Do you remember? Were any of the wires actually able to penetrate the crystal, or was it just surrounding it?
I think we had to pull it out.
I think they were just attached to the surface.
Oh,
They
we-
were due to the fact that you used your aurora powers because they involve magnetic fields. They were literally magnetized to the crystal itself.
oh, that's right. Magnetized. Wait, which means, was there something creating the field, or were they able to magnetize directly to the crystal?
As far as you could see, because you guys weren't there for a ton of time, but
Yeah.
as far as you could see, it seemed like the metal itself had magnetic rings on it, and the magnetic rings were able to magnetize themselves physically to the crystal. So the crystal itself was effectively magnetic.
So I have electricity in this. I don't have the magnetic thing anymore, correct? In this world?
but you guys developed an ability where if you spend an hour, you can change your focus.
Oh, that's
So
right.
if-
I have a clone right now.
Yeah. Right now, instead of being Nature Girl,
about that.
she went back to her Etso Kurimala light bending powers.
I forgot.
Do you think?
Forgot we made that clone.
And we don't like grow when that happens, right? We're still small and minish sized.
Correct. You're still minished bodies too.
Okay, cool. Do you get this is an out of character question. Do you think it would be worth attempting to connect to it with the Aurora?
With
It would
the
be-
Aurora?
Yeah, it's what I'd use to because it's electromagnetic based. And what Jody just reminded me of is those things were able to magnetize to the crystal, which means there must be something with the crystal, at least in Etsukorimala, that is magnetized or
Has a
has a
polarity
magnetic
to it.
field.
Yeah.
So that is my wonder of like if I do that, maybe there's a way I can use that to connect to it. Since we're not
If
Right?
you
We're
want to
not
try,
immediate danger right
I'm
now.
sure. I'm
from what I
sure
can
No.
tell.
you'll be able to magnetize something to it, but connecting to it is a big question.
I don't know.
You
It
got
was a thought.
That would
W-
be really. Go ahead.
when you guys left Hyrule, you were basically given a choice between two options. There's a tier that has gone dark that eventually you guys want to eventually Cass wants you to investigate, or you could go here, but you weren't really given a time limit or anything like that.
Okay.
So as far as you are aware, there is no time limit.
Oh,
It's
and
it's more of
2 to
just
1
making
to
sure,
time
like
ratio.
at Tsukuri we were in immediate danger. We had to
Yeah.
get out of there, like within minutes.
Yeah, the only danger here was that shadow creature that left, and then when Vati
He
woke
was
up,
very in love with himself.
Vati attempted to use their shadow magic to attack Adesh, and nothing happened.
Oh,
So
Oh
they
yeah,
arrested and got rid of Vati. So
Poor guy.
there really isn't any danger here.
it's like a little Napoleon, just screaming around, walking.
You know, he came up and started swinging, and Adesh just put his hand on his head. So he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it would be really interesting if you were able to connect to it, because then that could give us an idea on how Etsikoi Mala was harnessing the power from it. Or at least it'll give us an idea of the
okay.
polarity, so that
I mean,
we
it
can
might not
connect
work,
to it
but
and get more information. Yeah,
I'd like to give it a try then.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna.
I'd support that research.
Aino kind of sits down with a key and starts kind of meditating and focusing on kind of returning herself to her Hyrule version.
Etsikoi Mala version.
No,
No, her Aurora powers
technically
are.
both had access to the Aurora
She
attack.
she had her Etsukorimala one is controls robots, and the robot version of a key still had some magnetic abilities. But that was
He
mostly
has
because he was
different
robotic.
forms. That's so cool.
Yeah, every single time I give her a new focus, a key gets a new form.
That's cool.
Yeah, and he's not what he appears to be. If that hasn't been obvious at this point, but
I mean, a key isn't
He's
a fox.
not a magic flying fox. Fox?
I mean, he is a magic flying fox, but so much more. Not
Okay,
the-
maybe a key is exactly what he appears to be.
Okay, maybe he is. JK, maybe he is exactly.
Imp, I will deal with that in a little bit. Here, Imp has given you guys a teardrop. We will deal with that in a little bit. And then Astral Empress, whenever you are done, just let me know.
Astral Empress.
Yeah. So, during that hour, is there anything that the rest of you guys want to do while Aino and Iki are changing, for lack of a better term?
I think we had like daybreak happen at some point, so
Yeah.
just kind of go outside, make some breakfast.
She said it
Yes.
was hollow. Can I like put my ear up against it and rap?
Sure. As you do that, like it feels solid to you, and as you put
Daria
your
brings
ear to
out
it,
like a cup.
Yeah, you said it was hollow.
you don't get a
So
whole lot
cute.
of you don't get a whole lot of resonance from it. It's kind of like knocking on like concrete,
Mm.
where obviously you make some sound because you're making impact, but it's not really resonating or anything like that. And again, it feels very solid to you.
Mm.
And aside from the kind of strange, kind of static feeling you get when you have prolonged contact with it, other than that, there's really not a whole lot surprising about it, if that makes sense. I think Astral Empress is done. So, Elias from Astral Empress, take an intrusion token, a reroll token, an effort token. We'll deal with the teardrop in a second here. A recovery token, and then I get an intrusion token from Sarah, which I'll deal with in a second. I will do the rolling for the teardrops in a little bit here. I have to open up programs and roll on things, so we'll deal with that in a little bit. So yeah, go ahead.
I would like to go outside around the little campfire with Elias and pull out a block of wood and just start whittling.
Okay. So Fubari starts kind of carving this shape out of wood. And,
What are you whittling?
It's secret. It's surprise.
Oh, should I turn around?
No, it's okay.
Oh, so it's like a work in progress. Like I'll be surprised as I realize what you're whittling.
Yes.
Okay. Did you want food while you whittle?
Oh, do you have muffin?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
please.
Give me a second. I'll be back with some muffins.
Jody, do I have a muffin?
I mean, you've been collecting them, haven't you?
Scones.
Scones. You've been collecting scones.
I think someone else was doing muffins. I have scones.
At this point, I think I'm assuming that Adesh does it like part of his go kit involves getting a small supply of scones
That's correct.
anytime he leaves. So
A 10 relief scones.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this one's it's got peaches and apple in it. Please enjoy.
Oh, thank you.
It's very good.
Just happily munching.
so
Maybe I should try and whittle too. And I pick up a stick.
okay.
Zariah's gonna follow them outside and not ask, just take some of Adesh's food, and then have
What? Do you
Zariah.
have food?
Yes, well, yours looks better than mine.
That's because I pack better food.
I know, which is why I took yours. Actually, Lottie made mine, so technically I have better food
Then why aren't you eating the better food you have?
because yours look good.
No, I'll tell Lottie that.
All right,
Okay.
she'll make a better version of your food. That's all
It's-
it is.
It's mine came from her too.
All right, then yours looks better than mine. So, Zariah is now treating Adesh like a sibling, so you're going to get all the sibling interaction.
Zariah.
Yeah.
Zariah. Do number 2 you also eat?
Oh,
Ooh,
number 2.
I have a
No,
child.
you'll be fine.
while you answer that question, I'm just gonna kind of turn and try to whittle my stick.
Stifle a guffaw.
No, they'll be fine. And Zariah does send Zariah off to go explore and find some actual useful seeds than what Dilly had provided. Potentially edible things.
So,
Just the absolute shade. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Zariah sent Dilly off to get some like plant samples, and effectively Dilly completely deforested the immediate area around the Minish Temple.
Love that. Love that.
Brought
yeah,
it.
there's
all
a
back.
pile of plant mass like right in front
Yeah.
of the temple now.
If it was at one point growing and living, she picked it.
Actually, I wonder if I go back to nature if I can decompose things. I haven't tried that.
Suddenly interested in nature and rot is involved.
Well, it's sort of there's this thing my mom does. She kind of sucks the life out of things. So I'm curious if I can do the same thing too, except not with humans, with plants, and
It's like
you
a
know,
thing a
help
lot of
with-
mothers do.
No, I do.
He
He just does it emotionally as well as physically.
Oh,
Yeah.
My.
That hit a soft spot. Wow.
Too real.
So yeah, you guys are able to do that. You're able to send off your light clone to get actual useful stuff, and then
While
let Dilly
she's
think
grooming
that she
Shibari. Yes, just exhausting
collected
things.
it.
Yep.
So much shade at Ilea. We love you, Ilea. So after about an hour, I know you feel different. While you're in your kind of electric form, everything is kind of heightened. Like your muscles feel lighter, you feel quicker. A key is pointier. Now, as you kind of focus, you have this very nice, almost stole wrapped around you as a key is now back to his original Arctic fox, very fluffy form.
I love him.
And you can feel kind of your connection to the aurora starting to return to you.
Brilliant. Love that.
So what would you like to do?
I would like to, if possible,
Bonjour, Sophie.
meld with my, um, meld with my little guy. But I don't know if, I don't know if I can do that.
So
I'm more aware of it now, so I guess I can.
So thus far, the only time you've ever been able to meld with a key has been when you were
When
in
I'm in
danger.
danger, yeah.
And it hasn't been something that you have ever initiated. It's always been initiated by a key.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so ignore that. Hi. I know you want to go play, but you have to be a key right now. Okay. Uh, farewell,
Kitty
Sophie.
tail.
that is the floofiest tail.
I know. She is just floof.
She wasn't so small. I would think that she was a Maine Coon because there's a lot of fur there.
Got a lot of ragdoll in her.
Man, I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
Calcifer actually has a little Maine Coon in him, and some Norwegian forest cat apparently.
Maybe that's
We
what
did a
makes him
DNA.
so big.
We did a DNA test with our cats because I got it for free.
I also DNA tested my dog.
And
Fascinating.
And he is mine. We confirm.
Oh, congratulations! I'm so
Yeah.
glad.
You
You
are a father.
are the dog
The
father.
father. The dog. I'm gonna lift up the key and just be like, okay, let's try. How do we? Just like leaning my head against
So
it.
a key, like you pick up a key and a key is just kind of looking into your eyes. You have that kind of communication. You're like, okay, you kind of press that. And as you do, a key kind of nuzzles against you, and then you move away, and he kind of licks your face.
No, we need to do oh shit, I should have thought this through more. My friend, I am concerned that this lovely, beautiful thing is in danger. I know I'm not in danger right now, but maybe if we work together, we can find out what's wrong with the crystal. That is not a crystal. What do you think?
Go ahead and roll me a power check. And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty on this.
That's fair. Since I don't know the difficulty, I suppose it doesn't matter if I use effort, right? Because it doesn't.
It does.
Oh,
You just don't
effort and
know.
edge.
Yeah, edge just reduces the amount of points you have to spend, but you
That's
100%
right.
can
Sorry. For
spend
some reason, I mix effort and edge all the time.
because
Um,
they're both
I would.
very similar words.
They are. I would like to use my effort then to lower it by 2 if that's
Sure,
possible. And
that would be a
it's not going
grand
to cost
total
as
of
much because I
5
also,
minus whatever your edge
yeah,
is.
I have 2 edge.
Okay,
Um,
so a grand total of 3 points to do that.
yeah. I hate when I waste edge and effort.
Well, you get the points back whenever you take a long rest. So, would you get, ooh, nat 20.
Like,
So,
why? Why is it when I use all my stuff, it goes,
It's really how it works. It's like, no, I don't think I need it, and you roll a 2, and then you say, just in case, then you roll like a 19.
yeah.
so you get a major effect for that. And I'm going to choose your major effect for this.
Yes, you should, because I have no idea what I'm just making a very imploring thing to my little fluffy guy.
Because I would say with a nat 20,
No idea what I'm rolling.
I heard
you
that.
would go ahead.
I was just say I heard that every time Jody decides our major effect for us, a player intrusion token is awarded, so that we get to choose something else later.
So
Every time a bell rings.
every time a bell rings, an angel gets their wings, Daddy. Wasn't that swell? You want the moon, Mary? Let me just throw a lasso around and pull it down for you.
I remember
Not many times I get to use my Jimmy Stewart impression. There's so many people don't know who Jimmy Stewart is anymore.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Yeah. I remember
Brilliant
the first
actor.
time I heard that quote, every single bell that I found, I would ring incessantly.
Oh, same. I wanted to help out those angels.
Yeah.
Helping
And
out angels.
So
The adults around us.
So I know as you're sitting there and you kind of look at a key and you do that, he licks your face. You go, no, Aki, I think this crystal is hurting. Your intention for that phrase was relatively innocuous. You're trying to learn more about this. And so you're trying to find a way to kind of convince Aki to help. But as you kind of convince him, I think this crystal might be hurting, and it might be in danger. I'm not in danger, but it might be in danger. And as you're doing this again with the intention just to kind of get access to this aurora power, you realize as you kind of look into Aki's eyes that you see kind of a change happening in Aki. And you're not sure exactly what it is at first, but it's almost like Aki is kind of waking up for a moment. It's not that Aki hasn't been awake before. You've had wonderful conversations. Aki has many jokes that are hilarious.
He does. He's real fun.
But for whatever reason, you can tell that from this point forward, something is going to be different. And as you're sitting there, kind of looking into Aki's eyes, you kind of step back a little bit. You very carefully place Aki on the ground, and Aki looks up at you. And Aki doesn't have the kind of facial features that would allow him to smile. But you can see in his eyes this kind of little glint. And you can just tell he's happy.
Jody, if you kill her fox, I am done.
I will find you where you live. You will never sleep another night. So Key kind of smiles with his eyes at you, and you see this little wink happen. And Key's done a lot of things. Key has never winked at you.
He's very talented. I never thought he couldn't wink. Maybe he just never had the reason to.
And so he turns around and watch as his fur starts to kind of float, almost as if he was suspended in some sort of liquid. It starts to kind of float a little bit, and you start seeing these little traces of auroras around him, just kind of manifesting. And he kind of stands up on his hind legs and puts his paws against the crystal, and he kind of pushes his nose up against it and kind of boops it with his nose for a second. And he starts to kind of lick it. Nuzzle the crystal. And he explodes. No. And he kind of nuzzles the crystal. And you start feeling the aurora start to form. You start seeing lights appearing. And it's at this point that Adesh, Fubari, and Aino, you guys, out of the corner of your eye, you start seeing lights. And you kind of turn around.
I'm assuming he means you, Chax.
Yeah. Guys, my brain stopped working like 6 hours ago.
I'm not here to criticize anybody's brain function. I'm a guy.
So, you guys all, what did I call you? I literally cannot remember what I just called you, Chax.
I know.
I know.
I'm bored. So, Zariah, you all start seeing kind of little flashes out of the corner of your eye, and you kind of look back and you see Aino standing there, and you can see a Key kind of standing against the crystal, and you can see this aurora just forming, this beautiful aurora just starting to form, and it starts to envelop Aino. And Aino, as the aurora starts coming, you feel it start kind of traveling up your arm. You feel it traveling up your little legs, and you can start to see even more, and you feel this connection. And suddenly you guys watch as Aino slowly starts to lift off the ground.
Zariah's gonna freak out and try and grab Aino.
Okay.
She has never seen this before. Her friend touched a crystal and suddenly she's floating with lights around her.
She doesn't seem to be trying to get out of this or stopping this. I don't know.
Doesn't quite seem
like
aware of
you
her
run
situation.
over and like.
Does she seem like conscious?
Aino, are you aware of your
yeah.
situation, and are you okay?
So I know the rest of the world starts to kind of get turned down, like someone just like slowly turning the volume down. And the crystal itself becomes more and more of your focus. And you suddenly, Zariah, what specifically do you want to do? Do you just want to run over? Do you want to grab her hand? Like what specifically do you want to do?
How far off the ground is she?
At this point, she's maybe like 6 to 8 inches. Like she's not in the air. She's just not specifically touching the ground.
Minish
Zariah,
Jesus is finally ascending.
Yeah.
It's giving Atlantis vibes.
I told you guys I was the fucking Messiah.
We knew it.
Minish Messiah.
We didn't doubt you. Zariah's probably gonna try to go over and like grab her by the waist and pull her off.
Okay. So I know as you're sitting there and the world is starting to kind of be turned down, and the crystal itself, it's not growing, but your vision is getting closer to it, and so it feels like it's getting bigger and bigger.
I'm following you, bro. I know what a hyperfocus feels like.
You suddenly feel this pressure around your waist. And for a brief moment, you watch as the crystal kind of fades away a little bit, and you look down and you can see Zariah is there kind of clinging to you and trying to pull you away.
With a very panicked face.
Am I able to interact with her?
If you'd like to try, you can certainly try. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. Your arm is like here. I'm gonna just put a hand on your head and just kind of pet. Like, it's all right. I am fine. Let me do this.
So,
He would not let any harm come to me.
Soraya, as you kind of grab on, as soon as you make a contact, you feel different, is the only word to describe it. And as you start to pull, you suddenly sense movement out of the corner of your eye. And you look up, and Aino, whose eyes are now just completely auroras, kind of looks down at you, and you feel her hand slowly place itself in your head and start stroking your head. And you hear this voice that sounds like Aino, but isn't. And he goes, "Do not worry. I am fine. Eki would not allow anything bad to happen."
Jiraiya is freaking out a little bit more. Like, we just saw someone get possessed, and now Aino's voice has changed, and she's floating.
This is fine.
This is fine.
So do you want to keep holding on? Do you want to let go? What would you like to do?
I think she's just sort of in the freeze response right now.
Okay.
Can Fubari come up
Oh,
and
cool.
tug on her sleeve?
Tug on Aino's sleeve?
No, tug on Zaraya's sleeve.
Sure. So Zaraya,
Saraya. She seems to know what she's doing. She's doing more science. With
She's
rainbows.
doing more science.
With rainbows.
Agreed. She's in fact doing more science.
Science is fantastic. Unless you're trying to sacrifice yourself, or something's trying to, I don't know, possess you.
The possessed
Then
guy.
science isn't very good.
Well, how would they know?
Friends.
How would they know Aki's name? She seems like herself.
And Zaraya's gonna slowly let go of Aino.
Oh, baby.
so Aino, as you feel the arms slowly leaving your waist. Again, crystal starts to grow bigger.
Can I give her a little kiss on the forehead as she lets go? Just like
Sure.
a little. Just to reassure, like, it's gonna be okay. All right.
That seems like a goodbye.
Well, it's not, but just a little.
You've got another character, right? Like you have one in the back. Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, she.
Had a lot of goodbyes in her life. That seems like a goodbye.
So as you're as the crystal's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, your vision seems to kind of go through the crystal, and you suddenly see energy everywhere, kind of swirling around and moving faster and slower, and sometimes clumping up into little groups and other times kind of going around. And as you kind of look at it, all the energy stops, kind of rushes towards you and stops inches from your face. And you don't really know how you know this because there's no form to it. It's just energy. But you think it's looking at you. What would you like to do?
Is it?
Sorry,
So-
you cut out.
No, I didn't. I'm
Oh, okay.
struggling to find words. When you say looking at me, like,
That's the only way you can describe it
No.
in your mind.
I understand, but you know how, like, you're being watched at night, and sometimes you can feel like, oh, I'm being watched by, like, the nighttime things, and that's fine. And then sometimes you get that feeling of, I'm being watched by a predator, and I need to go. What, between those two,
Neither.
what does it feel more like?
You don't get a comforting feeling from it. You don't get an aggressive
Neutral,
feeling
then.
for it.
Right.
Completely,
Normal nighttime being watched. Great.
almost not so much neutral as it is without emotion, if that makes
Okay.
a sense.
Okay.
It almost has an artificial feeling to it.
Ooh. So it might not be alive. Am I able to use this connection to basically scan aggressive learning of like, does it feel damaged, not whole, or
At this particular point, you're so kind of overwhelmed with the experience that using another
okay,
ability is going to be a little bit beyond what you can handle right now.
that is fair. Um, I'm going to then just extend open palmed like in a very universal,
Mm-hmm.
um, not aggressive way, like kind of entreating, like,
As you extend your hands out, the energy again is formless, so it's hard to explain how you know what it's doing, but you know that it's reaching out, and as it grasps one of your hands, you feel this overwhelming uh, overload of information that just kind of floods you. And it's at this point when all you guys are watching, you can see Aino has risen to probably maybe about a foot and a half off the ground. So still not
I'm
massively up.
taller!
Uh,
So
yeah,
now we're eye
pretty
level.
soon.
Got it.
Yeah, pretty soon she's going to be able to get food off the top shelf without a
Rude.
step stool.
Accurate.
So
Rude. I could do it without a step stool. That's what
That's the
climbing.
dream.
Have you not seen my shelf jump? My adopted father was real proud of it. Step stools we do not need.
So, you guys watching the kind of glowing form starts getting brighter and brighter, and suddenly there is this huge explosion of light. And Zariah, I need you to make me a courage check. Difficulty 3.
As Aino explodes into nothingness.
You have to
You guys,
pick
I
up.
became one with the universe.
19.
19. Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So as this explosion happens, Aino is launched back. And Zariah, without even thinking, you kind of jump into the air, you grab her, and you tuck and roll. And
You're going to be really high up in Akiza's team because you just helped me.
as you eventually land, because you got a 19, instead of just like lying there, you kind of land in almost like a 3-point landing with Aino kind of cradled in your arms. And Aino, the one thing that you can remember from this experience is just the words, "What if?" And as you
Worst words to say. I know.
as you kind of change and realize where you are, you wake up and you can see Zariah holding you, looking kind of panicked.
I know, and her little thing just looks up and goes, boop, right on your nose.
You, madame.
She is fine. I don't know what she's doing.
She's fine.
She's fine.
We've seen her do weird stuff like this before. Not that weird thing, but weird stuff in general.
And she's still here.
And you know where she's from. They're also weird and can do weird things.
But not like this.
We don't
I'm
know.
not like
no
the-
one at home can do that. Well, where's the key?
Zariah, as you're sitting here kind of contemplating, you suddenly feel pressure on one of your hands, and you look down, and a key is kind of, if you've ever been kind of headbutt by a cat that wants pets, is just sitting there and is just trying to kind of get your hand around his ears.
And that's
He
like
kind of comes over and he starts licking your hand and kind of headbutting
No.
you some more.
it's like an instant reaction to give love. Just don't even think about it. Hand flips around and it's just instant love.
And as I know, as you kind of fully could come out of this, after Aki gets his attention, he kind of comes over and he kind of puts his paws in your chest and gets really close, and you just get this expression from him where he just looks at you and goes, "You good?"
Gives a little ear scratch like, what if the key? What if?
And
Hey.
again, as you look into him, you can see kind of a presence there that wasn't there before. It's not completely alien, but something about this has definitely changed the key.
Love, love.
I love him.
What happened there, I know? We're eating breakfast and you just suddenly like ascend like a messiah? Like what's
So, you know how I'm like, at Sukorimala, we had these big wires that were like connecting with crystal, but clearly draining crystal.
yeah.
Well, I thought, what if one just tried to connect to crystal? Because it was done through electromagnetics. And aurora is an electromagnetic field reaction, therefore it is based around the same sort of thing through the solar flares. And so I connected. And I have a feeling a lot went through my mind, but I didn't get to hold on to pretty much any of it. But that does tell me that somehow these are storing information. They might be a kind of supercomputer? Artificial, not organic. Which is interesting.
Well, they definitely don't look organic. We tried to connect earlier.
No. No, I know they're not like organic, but like in the way that like crystals are actually organic. Because I don't know if you know this, but crystals grow. Were you aware that crystals grew?
Normal crystals grow, yes.
Brilliant, yes. All right. So this is not a normal I know you know that, but it is not actually crystal. This is something about it is purely artificial. So we might be looking at some sort of computer networky thing. I'm not sure. Power source, obviously, based on what Etsukorimao was doing, but not alive in the sense that you normally think alive.
Mostly curious, like how you were able to connect after we failed to do so.
Did I not tell you, Aurora, electromagnetic? She looks over at Fubari like, you understand, yeah? You get it, you smart. Of course you do.
Oh, yes,
So-
yes. Tell me more.
But one thing that I remember, this is going to sound weird because it was words, but also not words at all. Imagine if you could, it's much easier to explain to a key because this is how a key communicates. The concept of the question, what if, was all that remained at the end. Like, not actually the words, like I didn't hear a voice. It was really more of like the concept of it was left in my brain from that connection. That is the only bit of information I was able to retain. It was a lot. Like, it's woof. And you're really pretty. And she's
Right,
still like,
not, but yeah,
incredible.
Zarai's still not putting me down.
And I'm just like, you're really pretty. Anyway. Hello.
What if, huh?
It gave you the idea.
What gave me the idea? Well, when we were in one of
No,
the
the
other,
crystal. It gave you idea.
it did. It gave me an idea of what if,
Oh.
which is very intriguing and
Yeah.
Can Zaraya be
Exciting.
watching like her pupils? Like, are they dilating at all?
Is
Yeah,
she
like,
high?
The
No,
fun
like
fact.
brain trauma. Like,
One of the one of the things that happens when you look at something attractive is your eyes dilate.
yeah.
It's one of the reasons why, you know, when you lovingly look into someone's eyes, their eyes look real big. It's because their pupils are actually dilating because they're trying to get as much of the image as they can because they really like it. So yeah,
Also, when you're really excited, like which she is. This is
100%
like
her eyes are bigger than normal, let's say. She's not full
Um,
blown like high, but she
but
has like
it's-
big anime eyes right now.
oh my gosh, I'm
how's-
so excited, you guys. There's so much here.
so how's her face? Is any side drooping? Like,
You
No.
don't think there's any stroke going on.
Very animated.
Yeah, her face is a little bit flush. But other than that,
Very excited.
sorry, still not putting you down.
So
Sorry.
what will you do with this? Well,
Well, I
now
think we
that
should-
you learn, where will you
What-
bring this learn?
We have to. You, she points at Adesh. You were talking about we should go investigate more, and I agree. And I want to try this with other ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to go back and try to get to that.
Oh,
that
and one
bit
went
too.
out. We should investigate that. Maybe we can relight it. Oh, Icky, would you like to try to relight the crystal?
he seems
Maybe-
extremely excited about that.
Oh, it's a good one.
Your what if though gives me thoughts.
Oh,
But
sure.
we
What
should.
if it's a great question.
Don't have thoughts normally, Dash.
All right, we
No,
have to
he's
go.
very smooth brain, no thoughts.
We have to go to sell all this to Cass and the core.
Oh, we'll have to go again.
Oh no.
But it has been so much fun. We have
We
science.
can take our
We
break.
have done all science. It was wonderful.
She would
but-
fit in our pockets.
I
We could
cannot
take her.
go. I cannot go. I have to make Minish friends because
Mm,
they are
that is
not
true.
entirely friend.
Right.
They are not good at. They are not good at pretending to be friends. Either.
I do not want to go to more meetings, but if it makes Minish work together eventually, we'll go to meetings.
That is fair. Oh, I hate meetings as well. I'm so sorry.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
You should-
But someday I want my town Minish. I want my town Minish family to be able to come outside. I want them to see the faraway city lights. Oh, the
Yay!
faraway city. I want them to see because we cannot see faraway city in town Minish.
Talk about in the sky.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
got
The
it.
faraway
Okay.
city light.
Yep.
Yes. They're so pretty.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
very
cute.
pretty. Yeah.
But yes, I want my family to be able to come and see. I want everyone to be one Minish, to be together.
To be
We're
one.
not there yet. One Minish, one many Minish, one Minish.
And we want that for you.
But
as well as
And
your
we want
ability-
that for you.
What?
The way you
But
said
you
it
come
was
back.
really funny.
you will come back. I know you will. Oh, and I made present. I have present for you. She pulls out this tiny little wood carving that she's been working on. It's like a tiny little miniature version of Fubati. With like complete with a little cloak and pockets.
Guys, it's gonna be even smaller when we go back.
So you remember I picked up the things that I learned to pick up the thing that you pick up that does thing, and it told you what it does. And this one told me that it will make thing with face talk to you, and you can ask questions, and it will make thing with face talk to you. So I put it on this, and now you can maybe use to ask question as help. if you put it
Like
somewhere
a
and,
like a
and
what would Fubari say statue?
well, I thought you could maybe leave it places that you have questions about, and it could tell you about the place.
It's a good idea. Thank you.
So yeah, here. It's for you. And she hands it
Alright.
over. I know.
Are you sure you can't come with us? Have we tried?
Well, I think she would need one of the.
I have to help my people before I
Right.
go
I mean,
explore.
after you help them
more.
and advance the technology of this very crude world, after you help them, can you?
Oh,
can you bring
I
it
would
with
like
us?
that very much. I would like that very much. So you come back, and maybe I will have things fixed by then.
If we're not back by the time you have things fixed, come back to this crystal and try to do what we did in a bunch of different ways of just like thinking really hard about going to where we're from. See if it
Okay.
works.
like it.
Adash, you're very good at drawing pictures.
What do you want a drawing of?
Of our landing area.
Oh,
Back
sure.
in Hyrule.
And
She
I
needs a place to go.
go and quickly take out my journal and draw a circle in a sky and say, "This is where you should go."
And Zarya sits down and she pulls out like a ruler. Let me try. She likes.
Well, while she's doing that, I also made a wood carving for you. I'm gonna roll for how this turned out because I don't.
Sure.
You know.
Stick with notches.
It's the physical manifestation of a line segment. So what do we got?
It's a 9.
9. Okay.
Um,
Something that you would consider making a difficulty 3 object.
a difficulty 3 object out of a stick. That is appropriate. Let's see. It's going to be a very, very, very crude model of Hunter the Ant mount.
Oh, okay.
The legs are pretty messed up, and he's missing a couple of legs because they're skinny and they like. I tried to make this. This is for you and Hunter.
Oh, he is beautiful. She immediately runs outside to show it to Hunter.
Yeah, and I follow her and give Hunter a big ol' ant hug. Like, you take care of each other. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Best of care.
yeah, I'm gonna go back to the crystal now.
Right. So, because we've gone a little bit over time, kind of speed things along. You guys are able to say your goodbyes. You transport back.
Goodbye.
And unfortunately, that is going to be all for today. As always, if you missed any of this, you can watch all of it right here on twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. Go to the videos tab. There's an entire playlist of Tears of the Realms. I would like to take this moment to thank Dottie for being such an amazing guest star for us. She kept coming back. And Fubari was wonderful. We had such an amazing time. So thank you so much, Dottie, for joining us. And hopefully we'll have you back again when everybody
It's
comes
been
back.
fun. Thanks for
Thank you,
having me.
Dottie.
Otherwise, again, it's going to be all for us today. We will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.